We begin tonight at number 13 Grosvenor Square, on the morning, almost noon, of Wednesday the 6th of February 1907, as Mr. Martin White, the owner of this very fine London townhouse, is sat in his study, just whiling away the day before his guests arrive for lunch. Martin, you're sat in your study. There's a glass of brandy in your hand that you don't remember pouring. And you remember last night you went south of the river, you went to Pavel Nordstrom's exhibition, and things went disastrously wrong. You saw things you should not have seen. You learned things you hadn't even believed possible. Then you went home. You got a good night's sleep. You woke up this morning, and then there's a gap. Something hazy, something missing. The hours seem to have slipped away. You remember getting up this morning, you remember having breakfast. Now when you look up at the clock, it's nearly 12 o'clock. You don't remember what you've done this morning. And I can't hear you.
That's not good either. I've muted on both things, Zoom and my mic. It's one of those days. Well, my first thought was I'd planned to do something with that book. Is there any sign of that book, or is that vanished?
That book, you look around for Pavel's
I probably would have had it in my study until I decide what to do with it.
Yeah, you peer around looking in your drawer where you were keeping it. It's not there. You remember putting it in that drawer last night. You remember thinking you had to look at it. And it's not there.
That's not good. I planned to do something with that book and look at something. Not that I can understand Swedish, but I could look at the pictures. I think I'll go and check with my butler Roland to see if I've had any visitors this morning.
Roland, did he say his name was?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Yeah. So you call for Roland, who is just setting up things for lunch, because your lunch guests are due to arrive any moment. Morning, sir. Afternoon,
morning.
sir.
Yeah, it was just, I think I must have just dozed off whilst reading. Have I missed any guests arriving, any visitors this morning?
You had a couple of guests earlier this morning, sir. They left about half an hour ago.
That's a bit strange. Which ones were they? Sorry. I'm having problems remembering them.
I don't recall hearing their names, sir. They must have introduced themselves. There was a gentleman and a young lady, I think.
Well, if you remember any more, please let me know. I seem to have... I've got a feeling they may have been mesmerists. Is that the correct word? It's these people who try to hypnotise and trick. Which would explain the problems I'm having with my memory.
Yes, that. I must apologise. I don't remember getting their names, and I don't.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll just carry on getting ready. I'll have to get ready as well myself. I've lost some time. Yeah. Anyway, nothing to worry about. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes, and you see, Roland definitely looks troubled by this reminder as he sets about his work.
He's very confused, like I am.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nigel and Basil. Is there anything particular you have done this morning before heading over to Martin's for lunch?
I have cleaned my guns, loaded my guns, hidden my knife. That's it.
Okay.
Had a spot of breakfast, and just prepared and got myself ready as usual. I mean, this obviously includes sidearm.
Okay, so having had breakfast and cleaned your guns, you head over to number 13 Grosvenor Square. A
13?
very smart-looking townhouse in a very nice part of Mayfair.
13 Grosvenor or 14?
13, I believe. As you arrive up at the front door. It's a very nice brass knocker. Just any particular type of brass knocker here, Martin? Anything just ordinary and plain?
Ordinary and plain at the moment.
Okay.
But I may come up with something interesting next time.
Alright. Yeah.
Anything stand out as we make our way walking there?
You walk up to the front step. Nothing of note. It's a crisp, cold morning. Well, almost afternoon now. Probably afternoon. You reckon just past 12. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. I don't know how well the two of you slept last night, given everything that went down. Especially for Basil, who had a somewhat traumatic experience.
Yeah. Hey, Nigel.
Yeah. You all right?
No, I'm not. Don't feel good, man.
What's up?
Remember when we had the old job?
Mm-hmm.
And we'd encounter those things that didn't make sense.
Well, yeah.
Never get the full story. Always heard it off. Dismissed, pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought our job would be stranger than that. And then yesterday completely reworked my understanding of everything. I didn't sleep well. My head hurts. I haven't eaten anything. I hope that this Mr. White, I hope his food is commensurately good with his fashion sense, because I am fixing to devour some food.
You take anything?
Take anything.
Take anything for your headache this morning? Any powder? Anything?
No, God, no. These days, everyone's running around with their cocaine and their laudanum. You just need to toughen up and embrace the pain. Makes one, I want to say, better. Makes one appreciate their life. Right now, I truly appreciate it.
Well, hopefully he'll have some scones.
God, he's a sensible gentleman. Surely he will have scones. All right, I'm going to knock lightly, because my head. Knock, knock.
Door is opened by a very smartly dressed butler.
Good day.
Good morning, sirs. Good afternoon, sirs. Sorry. Mr. White is expecting you.
Ah, thank you. By way of introduction, I'm Nigel Hargreaves, and my business partner, Basil Bloomsworth.
Yes. So I'm Basil Bloomsworth, not Basil. Basil.
Of course, sir. Yes. May I take your coats, sir?
No.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
No, thank you.
He takes Nigel's coat, and the two of you stand in the hall. I'm going to offer you both the opportunity to make me a spot hidden roll here, please.
Keeper, could I do something funny? I would like to push my spot hidden roll.
How would you like to push a spot hidden? How would you like to be nosy?
I would like to do the thing where it's like, oh, nice painting or nice thing there. And then direct my attention the other way as whoever it is I'm looking with, their eyes goes to what I had pointed out. And if I fail, I think it would be funny as I turn my head to look the other way discreetly, that I bump into them, thus making myself look like a clumsy elf.
Okay. Yeah, push that roll for me.
Rolled a.
Oh, you bump into Roland.
I'm sorry. It was the the uh, the painting there was non-existent. The wood. I like your wood. You have good wood. Anyway, which way do we?
Yeah, this way, sir. This way.
And as we walk, I just kind of say quietly to Roland, like, he had a hard night last night. Sorry.
Of course, sir. Yes. This way. Sir, your guests have arrived.
Great. Well, thank you very much. How have you two been?
No,
That was stupendous. I feel fantastic. Thank you for having us, Mr. White.
How good is your memory?
Superb.
You've got no gaps in your memory this morning.
Not that I'm aware of. You?
I don't think so. Nope. No, sir.
Okay. Well, there is a bit of a mystery for us to solve, but would you prefer to have food or discuss the mystery first?
Food. Oh, please. I don't.
Why not both at the same time?
That's true. I could hear Tommy's rumbling, so
Yes.
yeah, we may as well just get started.
Yes, you're very kind. Could I trouble you for some ice water, please?
Of course. I mean, can have definitely some water, whatever you choose to drink.
I feel dehydrated.
Yes, there'll be water available at the table, definitely.
I consume a lot of water almost immediately.
Roland refills your glass. Just whenever it runs low.
Thank you, Roland. Sorry about earlier. Had a rough night.
Oh, also remember, this is the check for to sort out things with your client.
Oh, thank you.
Pass the check over as agreed previously. So, I've got my own sort of strange ways. I prefer to sign checks at home and not in the moment. Anything like that I prefer to do here, possibly the day after the decision's been made, to give me time in case I wish to change my thoughts or something. I'm just, I've got little habits like that.
I respect a man who takes time to make sure he has a considered opinion, an informed opinion.
Well, I just don't want to make any mistakes. But, well, it turns out you're not the first guests I've had this morning.
Oh, did the inventor and his apprentice come by?
I've not seen him yet, but I think I may have been robbed.
Have you noticed what's missing?
The book.
The book.
The book.
The book.
I'll tell you why I'd planned for that book until we decided what was going to happen with it. I was going to put it this morning in the Bank of England, one of the lock boxes, because I don't own that book. It's not mine at all. It doesn't belong to any of us here. It belongs to Mr. Nordstrom. So the way I saw it was I'd have it locked up until a decision was made on what needed to be done with it. But the book's not here anymore.
Do you think it disappeared during your lapse of memory?
Yes, I remember getting up. I remember, well, nothing really. I remember getting up as normal, getting ready for the day. Then there's a large gap, and then I came to in my study with a glass of brandy in my hand. I spoke to Roland, and he remembered I had 2 visitors this morning, but he can't remember them. not
sorry.
clearly cannot remember the names, although they must have introduced themselves. He has no memory of that as such.
So your man lost his memory on it as well.
As well, I'm just wondering if it is a play of mesmerism or hypnotism. We've heard all sorts of stories like that recently, so it could be something like that. But from what Roland remembers, it was a man and a young lady. That was who I was visited by. But
Do you have
vanished.
Do you know if you have any neighbors who would have been keeping an eye out or would have seen the goings on in the?
I was suspecting, because we usually have like someone trying to sell newspapers. Just wondering if there's someone like one of these newspaper sellers or someone who might have an idea, at least a description of people here. But I'm not sure who else would have been out and about this time. But it was worth looking into to try and find out who they were. But the book's gone missing, and I think that book was rather dangerous.
I suspect that you're correct. I would like to, with your permission, after we dine, like to inspect your home and maybe see if they left any clues or trails of who they might be.
No problem at all.
I owe you an apology, Mr. White. Last night I thought that, I hate to admit this, but I made a presumption about you. I presumed that you were a heartless money man and that you would just blindly write a check to the inventor and his apprentice, and that it would be just Nigel and myself trying to keep a leash on things, so to speak.
Well, you're half right. I am a heartless money man. If you listen to rumours.
I don't think that you are, Mr. White. And I'll tell you why. If you were a heartless money man, I suspect that you would have put in a few calls and redistributed the inventor's possessions and intellectual property. Moreover, if you were a heartless money man, I don't think you would have written a check for our client. It is possible that you might have thought, oh, it's a cost of doing business, or squeaky wheel gets the oil, you want to appease Basil or myself and Nigel. But a heartless money man wouldn't take men such as Mr. Hargreaves and myself seriously, more often than not. My read on you is that you are not a walking charity. I don't take you as a soft man or pushover, but I do suspect there is some decency in you, which I find interesting, quite frankly.
Not much, but we can work on that.
Oh, I am not here to fix you.
But,
that's Nigel's job.
It's actually why I'd wanted to invite you over here and Avery, but he doesn't seem to be here, which is...
It's probably washing walls.
Possibly, because I wanted to discuss regards to the inventor. I had plans on what needed to be done. I'll just float my idea to you two gentlemen, whilst the apprentice is absent. I think his invention was dangerous in a big way, but it did have possibilities. He wasn't wrong in his theories, it's just he had no safety precautions at any... His obsession with it meant he missed all the possible safety options he could have done. There's probably alternatives. So what I'd planned to do possibly was to make arrangements to have him relocated to a laboratory that he could work from, somewhere relaxing near the coast, where he wouldn't be able to put London at risk it'd be more allowing him to carry on his studies as normal, just not build anything, if that makes sense. So he can carry on, but not construction, anything.
When I went to grab him, he said, he's coming, he's here. So, to as Nigel would say, to contextualize this man is so desperate to get his glory and to bring his invention to light that he knew that thing, which owes me an apology for ruining my night and my morning and now my afternoon, he knew that thing coming through existed, which means that this is a truly deranged man. I would argue he should be committed.
Oh, well, that's what I was thinking. Albrook is quite nice this time of year. And it's by the coast, but I was thinking he could be based there. Carry on with research, papers, but not build anything. And he'd be contained. I wouldn't want to... I'd hate the idea of someone being killed. I hate the idea of him being killed because of how he thinks. His invention did have merits, and he is a very smart gentleman. I'd hate to lose that. The nature of my work as such, I involved with all kinds of engineering. I'm sure I could, if he was committed to Albrook, let's say, I'm sure I could give him engineering issues or problems and he can just solve them. And give him, to occupy his mind, something to do. Something to try and distract him, but prevent him from building anything. So he can still carry on his career of choice, but not at any risk to anyone else.
An example of you being secretly kind, even though that you could potentially benefit from this. I vote that we send him to a sanitarium. We don't give him any information. And the system sorts him out the way the system sorts him out. I think he is reckless. I think he is dangerous. I think he is more than crafty enough to break out of any institution that is not, I hate to say this, but draconian in nature. Be that as it may, if I'm outvoted, I accept that. And I also have to admit that I might be unduly harsh towards him. Just can't get this headache to go away.
Well, I think we also have the issue of the missing book to deal with at this point, because the book itself represents quite a bit of danger should anyone else read it. And fortunately, it's in Swedish, so not...
Yes, there's not many people who can read Swedish, although I know a number of people at Oxford who would be capable of translating something like that. Or I know someone who knows someone. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. Now, did you happen to look through the book yourself? Were there any other pictures? I mean, anything that might have reminded you of the thing that poked through?
I only had a quick glimpse through, mainly at the scientific diagrams to see if I could identify any of that. But it seemed pseudo-science, occultism, it just seemed a weird crossover where the scientific theory would work if you disregarded accepted rules of reality. What we understand are the natural law, the natural order of things. But I didn't have much of a time to search it. At least I certainly can't remember much of it. But
do you have it? I mean, it certainly was not anything normal or natural that we saw. Do you have any contacts that would know about anything of the, I don't know exactly what, maybe occult or fantastical or anything like that?
Nothing off the top of my head. Most of my contacts are purely academics based at Oxford or Cambridge.
No,
but we can discount Cambridge. No one of any value comes there.
It's a terrible, terrible place. Terrible place. Some might say it's a shite version of Oxford. By some, I mean all. It's a well-known fact. Regardless, I'm gonna pay.
Oh.
Chad, I'm so
So
cooked.
you're not Cambridge, gentlemen?
No. No, I believe for some strange reason that Harvard would be the finest institution in the world, but we won't get into that. Oh, regardless, I don't. Fuck Harvard. Anyway, you have to know people who would know the obscure things like this through academic circles. That's what academics do. They sit around and they drink wine and they read old ass books and they research things that leads to another thing and another thing and another thing. But surely there's somebody in this gargantuan city who might know.
Well,
Keeper, would I
Yeah.
happen to remember anyone with interest in that side of things?
If you would like, give me an intelligence roll. So this is essentially an idea roll. Do you know something?
I haven't
here?
actually got any contacts to do with that. Just intelligence?
Yeah, this is just intelligence. This is to do with your memory and
Nope.
what do you know. Anyone is welcome to make this roll if they want. Martin hasn't really had any involvement in the strange or the odd. It's not something he crossed his mind. Nigel and Basil, however, you did work on the case of the terrible fire at the theatre
right.
several years ago. And obviously you never got to the bottom of it and it cost you your careers, but one thing does stir in your memory. The phrase, the London Esoteric Society. A group of people who are based actually just further up the street from Martin. But
Oh,
you
we-
never
we
managed to
wouldn't-
get an interview with them. They were very cagey and evasive. And
Would we have remembered the address or just up the street a bit?
you think,
I don't know that we.
Yeah, you don't remember the address. You remember they were somewhere around Grosvenor Square because you tried to turn up to their. Perhaps one of you tried to turn up at the door once to get an interview, but you were sent away by a very officious butler.
It would have been me, because I'm the people person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
that
would not let you in. So you think you could probably recognize the door if you found it? Yeah.
Very good. So, what is more pressing, the investigation of your home, or should we go knock on a strange house? What do you think, Mr. White?
I'd say we finish dinner first. Then we do. Well, my house is not going anywhere, but it's probably already been cleaned up, so it might be difficult to see anything. But we could have a quick look of my study, potentially, and then head out.
Okay.
We could do both.
There's no reason why we can't get both accomplished.
I'm not
Very good.
expecting anything to be found in my study, but
You weren't expecting to lose your memory. I mean, they robbed you of your book, our book,
Oh,
someone's
not my
book,
book, the book.
a book. That you were robbed of the possession of a book and your memory and your butler's memory. Nobody should disrespect a butler. It's a horrible way to go. Well, I myself, I have eaten voracious. My appetite is stout.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the comestibles.
Yes, I will say, I was hoping for a scone.
You can always
But-
have one to go.
No, you must eat one with friends. It's a whole thing.
Well,
To your study, maybe, mayhaps.
oh, yeah. Let's just go upstairs to my study.
Keeper, I would like to do a spot hidden.
Okay. Yeah, as you head up to the study, you can do me another spot hidden. Martin, you can also give me a spot hidden as you head out into the hall and head upstairs through your own house. No, everything seems in place. Roland's been keeping the place very neat and tidy. And
I'm debating if I want to spend. That's a lot of luck.
that'd be 20 points of luck there if you wanted to make that.
Not as
success.
much
If
as
you
I'd
reach up
have
to the
to
office,
spend.
start poking around.
I can't do it.
What kind of? How does Martin keep his office? Is this a tidy place? Is this a very personal? Or is there clutter of personal items around, or is it very business?
No, it's very tidy, very business-like in this office. think I posted a couple of pictures in the cult stuff on, just to get an idea of the decor of the house on Discord. But it is his office. It's purely professional. He is a businessman at the end of the day. He needs his paperwork in order, so it should be in order. I hope.
They're all very in order, but also very fancy.
Yeah.
So, very elegant decor. There's clearly a lot of wealth behind this as a house. What sort of books does Martin keep on his shelves in his office? Is this business ledgers, or is he keeping hobby books here? What sort of stuff does he read?
He reads everything he can get his hands on. He likes. He's got a broad set of interests. A lot of his stuff will be relating to, the various sciences, natural world, even medicine. Not that he's read any medicine, but there is just a broad range of books, really. He'll have all the popular ones of the time, whatever's the fashion or the fad or anything that has been the fashionable or fad thing, but mostly science, academics, natural world, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, looking around, Basil, you can't see anything that looks out of place. Nothing particularly odd. Just an office, very nice office, with space for guests, and less an office and more of, I don't know the correct word for an office that's big enough to fit it's just a very big office that you could hold entire meetings in. This is an excessively sized office. I'm going on the pictures.
I don't see anything out of order.
Say, can Nigel go into investigative mode and start looking for things as well?
Yeah, as Basil was saying this, Nigel, you look around, see if you've got any slightly sharper eyes.
Ooh, Keeper, could I check for footprints or anything like that?
Yeah, you don't see any footprints. The floor is clean and tidy.
Curse you, butler!
Nigel, you spot something on a table to the side. There is a silver tray with a decanter of brandy and 2 empty glasses, both with a small drop of liquid in the bottom. Clearly looks like they've been drunk from.
2, not 3? Which would include Martin's?
Martin, you spot another glass wherever Martin put his down that he was drinking earlier on the desk.
Martin, do you recall having 2 extra glasses of brandy today? There are 2 used glasses on the tray.
It might relate to the 2 guests, I cannot remember. I'd placed my own glass here on the table.
What Basil, what's the state of lip printing?
Well, it just depends on how much I like her. If I really I have no idea.
There's also, actually, with a success, you peer over there is something else tucked slightly under the tray, almost as if someone forgot it or put it down.
And what do I see?
It is a handkerchief. It has a tiny smear of almost like someone's dabbed the corner of their lip with it, then dropped it and put it down.
It's not monogrammed by any chance, is it?
A tiny little handkerchief. It's got very elaborate lacy edges. It looks very annoying to actually use as a handkerchief. And it is monogrammed.
What luck?
It says LW in very curly letters. Surrounded by a little bit of blue floral decoration.
So, Martin, do the initials LW mean anything to you?
No.
A lady's name, perhaps.
No, which is, I was thinking the W could relate to someone of my family, but no. Nothing springs to mind at the moment.
You've possibly got some cousins with names beginning with L, but not any that you're on very
nobody in the city I know of.
Because and would this have been in your office for any reason? I mean, looks like it was left behind by whoever your guests were.
No, it's not something I would use myself. It looks like someone else's. I don't know who. But at least we have some initials to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see anything out of place, but I've asked my butler if he remembers anything to let me know, so he might turn up something. But should we have a look for these associates of yours?
Know that I call them associates of ours yet.
Oh God, that butler was a stonewall. He found like 17 different ways to politely tell me to bugger off.
Oh, what was his name? Jay something.
It's the butler's job to do that.
I don't remember his name.
I normally only entertain guests during particular hours during the day. Anything outside that, I've advised my butler to just say I'm not at home or I'm unavailable.
James. His name was James.
That's it. Yes.
So, shall we set out and have a look around then?
Let's go.
You said it was in this area as well?
So someone in Grosvenor. Don't remember the address.
Okay. So you head out into the crisp, cold, definitely afternoon by now. So still some frost on the grass. It's a very cold day, even for February. And so go around a few neighbours. Martin, there's some you can rule out immediately because you know who lives there.
Could I have a look around to see if there's any like newspaper sellers or anyone I might be able to who might have seen any visitors outside my house?
There's possibly a newspaper seller at like the far corner of the square, like the road leading into it. They're not hanging around in the square itself, because that would be loitering in.
Oh, definitely. It might have seen. Oh, it's
essentially a private space. You've got this square of very nice townhouses with this.
May have a look at that newspaper seller a bit later then.
Fenced off garden in the centre, which you have a key to, and everyone who lives on the square has a key to this like private park in the centre of the square. This being technically somewhat private land. The entirety, you own the house. The land here belongs to. I want to say the Duke of Buckingham, but I might be getting the wrong Duke.
We'll just go with the Duke of Buckingham. I'm just wondering whether the newspaper seller would have seen any visitors this morning, so we'll always check with them later.
Sorry, the Duke of Westminster.
Ah, Westminster. A different Duke.
Very different. But yeah, the newspaper. There's no sort of newspapers person on the square. It said you go from door to door a bit until. Who's got the sharpest eyes? Technically, this is Nigel. He is the sharpest eyed among you. You see a very small brass plaque beside one of the doors. It's very discreet and very small, and doesn't look like it's been polished in a while. And there's a small brass plaque engraved with the words London Esoteric Society.
Gentlemen, I believe we found our place.
At number 18, Grosvenor Square.
18th Square.
Only a few doors away.
Right, well, I guess I'll be the adventurous one, and I'll knock.
There's a pause, and then the door is opened by a smartly dressed butler. Looks to be possibly in his mid to late 40s, probably. Neatly dressed. Impeccable hair. And a look of slight world weariness as though he's seen things.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. May I help you?
Hopefully. If the Esoteric Society is still in business.
ask who is calling?
My name is I'm Nigel Hargreaves. My partner in investigations, Basil Bloomsworth, and our client, Mr. White.
Indeed. And if you just step into the hall, I will inform Dr. Pendergast of your arrival.
Oh, thank you.
He shows you through into the hall of this house. It's in layout very similar to Martin's own house, but in decor it's definitely more dated. This hasn't been redecorated a lot recently. It has got electric lighting and isn't falling apart, but it's still quite old-fashioned. In the hall there's some coat stands, several portraits of various people from the last century, a number of men and women.
But while we wait, can we have a look at those, just to idly look at who they have portraiture of?
Yeah, it's an odd sort of mix as you wait. There's women in very formal fancy dresses, some of the portraits are definitely professional ones. Some of them are perhaps more amateur, almost like practice works. You see one of a almost slightly roguish looking gentleman who doesn't look quite like he belongs in a place like this.
Are there any tags on the, or labels on the?
They don't have any labels on them now.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't wait in the hall long before the butler returns and says, Dr. Pendergast will see you upstairs in the parlour. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Sir, do I know you?
I believe we may have met before, but it was a long while ago.
You're very good at your job, sir.
This way.
Of course.
He shows you through into a well-appointed parlour. I said more portraits on the wall. There's definitely one of a gentleman dressed in things that are probably at this point almost 60 odd years ago. This gentleman, this is more sort of late Napoleonic looking than Victorian, staring down at you. And beneath this portrait there is a pair of cavalry sabers on the wall.
Excellent weaponry.
And the
Very
butler
nice.
sort of gives a nod and shows you in, and you see in the room there's a series of armchairs, and in one is a gentleman dressed sort of smartly but slightly casually. He's definitely in his hanging around at the home smart clothing rather than going out and making calls. He's got a rather comfortable looking jacket on.
Morning suit.
Pardon?
The morning suit.
Morning suit, yes. His age is rather hard to judge. He could be anywhere between sort of 40 and he's either looking old for 40 or is a well-preserved 60 or somewhere in between. He's got sort of salt and pepper hair and a pair of spectacles perched on his nose. And laid out in front of him is sort of a tea tray with a pot of tea and 4 cups. Gentlemen, please take a seat.
Thank you for having us.
My name is Dr. Pendergast. Currently I wouldn't say. I don't really know what the right word is, but the
Caretaker?
caretaker of this, whatever this is, this establishment.
It is a fine establishment. Some might say notorious.
I should hope not. We like to keep a low profile. Please take a
You
tea.
did not always.
Tea?
Oh, yes,
Tea would be
please, thank
lovely.
you.
Of course.
There you go. Uh,
Can I do a spot hidden check on him?
yeah. What
find
are
him
you looking for? What are you?
Weapons. I find him. Basil would find him suspicious given his interactions with the London Esoteric Society and them being tied to the theater fire.
Yeah, you can either give me a spot hidden or a psychology, depending on whether you're trying to get his vibe or you're trying to get his just actual appearance.
I'm looking for weapons at this juncture.
I'm just looking for a vibe, just a general psychology roll. Just
Okay, yeah.
get an idea what it's like. Yep,
You're welcome to roll me a vibe check or a is he hiding secret guns check, if you wish.
There's a connection between the two.
Yes. Basil, you don't see any sign of any weapons on him. Like there's no sort of sign of a gun hidden between his shirt, under his shirt, between his shirt. It's definitely the wrong preposition. Or in his pocket. Nothing out of the ordinary. Martin, his hard to get a read on. You're not getting anything sort of beyond the surface. Nigel.
I'm looking just to, since we're starting to remember that what the Esoteric Society was involved in, and that we're looking for this book. I'm just looking to see if there's anything that would give us some kind of connection between the two that were occultish sort of things.
Okay. You see, sort of looking him over with your sort of eagle eye, taking in all the details. You see, he's very clean and well kept, though there are a few sort of splatters of ink stain on his fingers. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else you would notice, anything else you'd see.
Recent ink stain or faded for some time?
A mixture. Like he's definitely someone who spends a lot of time sort of writing and scribbling away.
Okay.
You would also spot what looks to be a small blood stain on the cuff of his shirt.
Okay. Bright red or rustish color?
Bright red. Fresh blood on the cuff of his shirt. Like just on the sleeve, just. And also
Doctor,
just a little splash of blood got there from something. And
Doctor, are you all right?
Last of all, there's just. It's hard to put a pin in it, but there's something about his eyes.
Okay.
They give you. They look old. It's hard to really explain why, but something not quite right about them. You're not sure what it is.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'll
what
keep
were you
that in
asking?
mind. What's up?
You said you asked him a question.
Oh, I was just saying, Doctor, are you okay? I just noticed the blood on your cuff.
Oh,
Have you cut yourself?
shaving mishap this morning.
Oh, sorry. It looked fresh. That's why I asked.
Yes, I should have changed my shirt, but well, I wasn't expecting guests.
No, I understand.
Apologise.
Oh, no need for apology.
Yes, he kind of tucks his sleeve back up out of the way.
May I do a psychology check to see if he's lying?
Yeah, you can do a psychology check to try and get a general impression of him. You see, as he's sort of tucking away, there's a flash of annoyance, like he hadn't noticed that was there before then, you don't think? And the other lie sort of slips easily from his tongue. That you're almost certain that was a lie. That was a lie.
Okay.
Anyway, to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit, gentlemen? What can I help you with?
Mr. White, would you like to explain?
I'm not sure. It is you two gentlemen suggested a society as such, but I believe I may have been robbed.
Robbed? I'm afraid we're not really
But
detectives as such.
no,
Well, that's our job. But
the memory seems to have gone.
Pardon?
The memory, of the incident itself seems to have gone, and the two individuals, I believe, who have possibly done the robbery, all memories of them seem to have gone,
You were robbed of your memories.
and a very unusual book.
And a book. Well, now that, I'm afraid, does sound like a case for the Esoteric Society. Books being one of our primary, problems in the city. You have no idea how much trouble a book can cause in the wrong hands.
This one, it was causing a bit of an issue. We had recently acquired it after possibly preventing something rather explosive from happening. The book in question was in Swedish and was being used by an inventor. He was trying to...
It wasn't a gentleman by the name of Nordstrom, was it?
Yes, that's the inventor. He was putting on an exhibition of sorts to try and show his new energy source.
Yeah, last night, somewhere south of the river, I heard there'd been a bit of a kerfuffle there.
There was indeed.
Yeah.
You were present for that?
Yes.
We were.
All
of
three of
us.
you?
Yes.
Yes. I will never forget it for as long as I live.
Certainly some unusual things happened.
Curious. Unusual things such as?
Well, the demonstration was to.
Just curious, Doctor. What are you a doctor of?
Oh, nothing particularly useful, I'm afraid. Linguistics.
Oh, well. I was just whether you were a specialist in psychology.
No.
I was just curious for a moment whether you were... Is a professional interest in us? Because
No.
some of the things we saw, I don't think seem believable.
The demonstration
You
that
would be
we were at
surprised of what I can believe, sir. You really would.
it was to showcase the new electrical technologies, and the inventor was trying to draw upon, well, somewhat of a questionable source. It looks like he tried whatever he was trying to harness the power of, poked through, so to speak.
It's a good way to put it. He opened a gateway to something. And his book was about opening gates.
I see.
We saw something impossible. There's no other way to put it. His contraption opened a portal that was supposed to be a device that created infinite or quasi-infinite energy. And something very powerful and evil came out, and Nordstrom recognized it and said, "He's coming, he's here." He said that as I was saving his life. It hurt me. It hurt my... It hurt me. And I'm still hurting from it. Just seeing it, being close to it, the proximity and all.
You saw it. You were close to it?
Yes.
We both did.
Can you describe it?
Yeah, Basil was the closest one to it.
Yeah.
Did you hear it? Did it speak to you?
Keeper, how would I even begin to describe, given the amount of sanity that I took?
You would struggle to describe it. You saw it. You remember. You have the impression of eyes, of silvery tendrils, of something both vast and far and near all at once. But even
Okay.
thinking about it now, like it's unsettling.
I feel you can see him lurch forward like this, and it would say, "It was what I saw was an impossibility, diametrically opposed reality of something that was near and far at the same time. I would use the word infinite or omnipotent. Eyes. It felt like it was all eyes, and it felt like it was simultaneously all silvery tendrils, tentacles."
I see. Fascinating.
No,
You mind if I write this down?
you may. However, there is a catch. If you do decline to help us, it would only be fair if you agreed to not speak to anyone about this.
Oh no, I'm
This
quite
is-
willing to help you. This is what the society does. We help people who have encountered things such as you have encountered, who have experienced things that cannot otherwise be explained.
Keeper, I would like to make, because we've been talking with him for a while, I'd like to make a social role of some kind. I'm thinking maybe it would be charm, because I want to say, well, that does come to I'm sorry to say this as a joke, but with a little bit, just a tiny bit of an edge. That comes to me as a bit of a surprise, given how you all stonewalled us not too terribly long ago,
Okay, yeah,
which
you're trying to
helped.
just jokingly sort of suggest this through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Extreme success.
Stonewalled you?
Theater fire.
Oh,
Nigel and I were former
that
officers.
was before my time with the society, I'm afraid. There have been some changes since then. Yes, that would have been the previous society members. The people leave, people come.
Did all of them leave?
Pardon?
Did all of them leave? I mean, there was no continuity?
One by one, yes.
Hmm.
There's been a little
It has-
continuity,
It has been a while.
and it's been a
Cool.
while.
How many
The-
members do you have now?
Just the four of us these days, yes.
You, the butler.
No, James is not a member. He's staff.
Given how he expertly stonewalled us, I assure you, my good doctor, he is a member. That type of loyalty
Oh,
does
I
not
suppose
come
he
to
is the
someone.
continuity. He was here before I ever set foot in this place, and well, honestly, I suspect he'll be here long after I'm gone. But
Anyway,
was-
there's you and three others.
yes. We are a little. We come and go. There's a little irregularity. Two or three
Eh.
others. Yes.
Who might I have their names? Maybe I know them.
Oh, maybe you do. There's Mr. Abernathy. Technically he is our lawyer, but he has been roped in on a few occasions to.
I do know that gentleman. I spoke to him recently, Mr. Abernathy. He spoke
you
to me
did?
about Nordstrom. He gave me some advice not to invest any money in his business.
Oh, it sounds like Cecil. Yeah, he was making some inquiries about Nordstrom. We'd heard some unsettling rumours. I did plan to be there last night, but otherwise occupied.
Perhaps it was for the best you didn't.
Well, matters might have gone otherwise had we been there. But yes, Mr. Abernathy, Mr. Collinwood, who was lurking down in the library earlier. He might have gone out now. And Miss Ward, of course.
Did I do a roll to see if I know any of those people?
Yeah, make me, I guess this would be a credit rating roll. It's like a social roll. Really need like a social connections skill.
Could I try the same sort of role, but I don't know what I
Yes.
need to roll? Because it might not be credit rating for me.
It would be credit rating, I believe. It's who do you know, who you're connected to. Do any of these names mean anything? Unless there's anything else you're specifically thinking of.
Would I recognise any of those names is what I was thinking, but my credit rating's quite high, so I was thinking if there's a different one to match.
I mean, it's whether you have moved in any circles to hear of these people.
To be fair, he is involved with pretty much all the social clubs of the city, so he may have recognised the name. So.
Okay. Basil, none of the names are ringing any bells for you. Nigel, the name Collinwood, does ring a bell for you.
Okay, what do I remember?
Yes, there is a writer who occasionally dabbles in reporting and also writing essentially. I don't know if Nigel reads these himself or he just come across them during a case, but essentially somewhat terrible mystery and novels. So it's up to you whether Nigel's reading these for fun or whether he had to read them or encountered them during a case at some point. But
What's the difference?
well, it's more like it's more what his taste in literature is. Like these are essentially slightly pulpy, sort of melodramatic mysteries involving sort of long lost siblings who've been separated at birth, hidden legacies, evil twins. It's all very like over dramatic. People get kidnapped very often.
Oh, I see.
Cults turn up a lot. People lurking on in caves, summoning demons. It's quite terrible.
Okay, so I do
Was
sort of
Alexander
remember
Collingwood.
Alexander Collingwood. That name is somewhat familiar to me, but I know him as a writer. I mean, that might just be a pen name. I don't recall for certain.
Yes, Collingwood novels. Yes. And Martin, the name of the... I mean, obviously you met Albernathi briefly at the club, but the other name that rings a bell is Ward. You know of or have met a Lord Henry Ward and his wife Catherine. The Wards are a very respectable family. Obviously, it's a fairly common name. This could be a different lot of Wards.
True.
But the Wards, are very respectable, as I said.
So I thought it'd be a
Henry
respectable,
Ward has a seat in the
wealthy
House of Lords. He's very well connected and established.
Yeah, that's likely how I'd recognise the name. So, as you say, it's a common name. I recognise the Wards, I think, but it's unfortunately a very common name. But I recognise Henry Ward, I believe.
Yes, Lord Henry. I've met him on occasion. I don't quite move in those elevated circles, I'm afraid.
I've not met him, but I've heard of him.
What was I saying?
So those
yes,
are society members.
Those are our current members. Some of our past members still commune by letter from time to time. Miss Ward's uncle has retired, but we occasionally get some form of response from him. I think he's been travelling out of the country a good deal. So, yes, I can help you with this theft of memories and books issue. Well, I can try to help you. I can't promise any results.
It's probably something we'll look into ourselves. It just seems... I'd rather know where this book was. Luckily, it's in Swedish, so it's not the most common of languages in London.
No, you don't meet many people who read Swedish.
I'm considering checking with some people at the university to see if anyone has approached them regards them having a piece of work translated.
Yes, well, I can put you in touch with some old colleagues of mine if you'd like, in the language department. Does that help you?
Oh, definitely.
I would think so, yeah.
Speaking of knowing people, does the initials... What was the initials on that?
LW.
LW. Does that mean anything to you? You know any women named LW?
There's a lot of LWs in London. Why do you ask?
No reason. No reason.
Yes, Swedish. How much
Quick question.
I mean, my Swedish myself isn't very good. I've dabbled a little, but I wouldn't be able to produce a confident translation of anything.
I do have a quick question. You mentioned Miss Ward.
Yes.
What's her first name?
I suppose she would be. Yeah, Lucy.
That's what I was just...
Why, do you have any particular interest in Miss Ward?
Other than the fact that her initials seem to match the ones of a young lady that visited me.
Well, as I said, there are many LWs in London.
Could be.
But I will inquire with our Miss Ward, see if she's been calling at your house at odd hours.
Probably not the best way to put it across.
No, I suspect not.
No.
Dr. Carling, he'd be my go-to for Swedish.
But you know,
I can give him a call and let him know you're coming.
I mean, perhaps in the line of your business, you might know the name of the book. We saw it, and it was something in scurriously Swedish. It was, and I wouldn't dare try to pronounce it, but it's like Vegans Opnara. Does that title sort of ring any bells with you?
I suppose the best translation of that, I suppose, would be the opener of doors. That doesn't seem quite right, but
Actually, I think
No, that sounds incredibly correct. Openers of dimension, openers of time, openers of the universe, openers of my psyche. Little joke, I'm sorry. Not myself, forgive me.
yes, yeah, the opener of the way, the opener of the doors, definitely the opener of
You mentioned that the Society does have an interest in books. What sort of books would you say the Society is interested in?
I am a linguist by training, and Mr. Collingwood is a writer, so between us we cover everything from academic text to books that really should be blended down and used as road surfacing.
Now, that's the thing. I don't believe books should be burned or destroyed.
Oh, no. Pulped, not burnt. Let's not waste them. And yes, I mean, I have a great interest in old texts, old tomes. If you come across any matters of the occult, I know it's a little bit of it has a bad reputation as an interest, but I find amongst all the ramblings about Satan and higher powers that there is sometimes a modicum of sense.
Sometimes madmen and prophets do speak words of truth.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, they also are madmen and prophets.
Well, I find that sometimes we can gain a lot by listening to the men who would otherwise seem mad. But, yeah. Mr. Woodsworth, yeah?
I would like to insight check that, Keeper, because that blew my fucking barn doors off. Actually, is it not insight check? I'm sorry, I ran D&D last night. Psychology.
Yeah. Psychology.
Sorry.
It's all right. I also run D&D. I can use. I sometimes slip into using the two interchangeably.
I'm spending the fucking luck. I gotta know. I'll spend the 13 points of luck.
Okay.
What the fuck is up with this guy?
I mean, he seems quite amenable to you. You seem to have been winning him over, like he's opening up to you. Perhaps he's let his guard down a little more than he would otherwise. But there's an undercurrent of amusement to everything he's saying. Like he seems to find your questions and your presence here entertaining, and you get the unsettling impression that he's toying with you in some way.
Okay, that's very important.
He's saying.
I am. If he's gonna fuck with me, I must fuck with him back. Doctor.
Yes.
I can tell that you have a passion about you, that these are the things that get you up in the morning. These conundrums or mysteries or things of the sort. But I do wonder, as a doctor of linguistics, so you know much about languages and surely that would encapsulate quite ever so much. Have you ever lost anyone at the society?
Have I ever lost anyone, or has the society ever lost anyone?
You specifically, my good doctor.
I have been very fortunate that since I joined the society, we have not lost anyone, though there were some tragic incidents before my joining.
Would that involve the theater?
Yes.
Okay. I
Theater.
only
I can put your
ask.
mind a little at ease about that if you'd like. What happened there?
I think I would like to have that conversation in a full-throated manner at another time. But I suppose, and I'm not a well-spoken man. You should just take me at face value, grain of salt, and all of that, of course. But I just say what I think, and I think what I say. I only bring this up because, unfortunately, me and Mr. Hargraves, we have lost a lot of people in various contexts throughout our work and our personal lives. And given the seriousness of this nature, I just want to make sure that you are okay with becoming involved, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Oh, I understand the risks. And anyone who involves themselves in this society, we all know the risks of what we are doing. We all know that none of this is safe. None of this ends well.
Given the state of the place, it's a classic. It is. It's just not, I would say, updated or contemporary, and there's nothing wrong with that. What has the society been doing since theater time? And as I ask that question, Keeper, I'm switching from being that like charming, jovial guy, aw shucks, to I'm much more seriousness, and now I'm trying to persuade him to tell me everything, because I set up the question and I want him to swing for the fence.
Give me a persuasion roll, please.
I have a 75. Keeper, I want to push that roll.
Okay,
and I'll tell you how.
Yeah.
I will tell you how I'd go for it. So since I failed, I imagine there's maybe a moments of hesitation. There's some type of that I can latch on to. And as soon as I see that moment of doubt or apprehension, I'd lean in and I would say, "Oh no, come on. Don't sell yourself short. You're amongst friends, people that could appreciate what really happens at places like this."
I think that you go too far, sir. There's some things that you are not ready to know. I can tell just by looking at your eyes. You have seen things that were not meant to be seen. But
Is
I
that the
warn
look
you
that
now.
Is that the look that I see in your eyes, Doctor?
Maybe. I've seen far too many things over the years. But Mr. Bloomsworth, I warn you, it will not end well for you if you dabble too far. If I were you, I would forget the book. I would forget what you saw last night, and I would return to my life and not think about this anymore. That is what's best for you and for your mind and for you not to lose anyone else.
Are you sure?
This is dangerous, and I'm not sure you're ready to know the truth of it.
But good doctor, I have a wager for you then. Oh, Mr. Hargraves, please.
I was just going to say, danger is part and parcel of our daily business.
Yes.
But not of this. So you mentioned truth. So does that mean you haven't been telling us the truth?
I've been telling you the truth as much as you're ready to hear. But there is far more truth out there. There are things that you are very much not ready for.
So you're curating the truth based off of your expectations and analysis of us.
That is what the society does.
Well, let me tell you what we do. You can't protect me. I will make you a wager, Doctor. By the end of this little experience that we have, you will walk up to me. You will extend your hand. You will say, "Mr. Bloomsworth, Mr. Hargraves, dare I say even Mr. White, should he, I can't speak for him. I do get to speak for Mr. Hargraves, as I'm the brains of the operation. You will extend your hand. You will say, 'I am so sorry for having underestimated you.' You will offer me a place here at the Society. And deep, deep down, in a place so far in the pit of your stomach that you don't talk about, you will hope desperately that we accept.
And what?
That's
So that's one side of this wager. Every wager has another side. I would wager that by the time this is through, you will be begging to be as far away from this as possible. You will wish that you had never learnt any of this. And
But
you
there's a problem.
will be pleading with me to make sure that you never remember any of it again.
Ah,
But Doctor,
well, that's a very good point. You mentioned memory.
Now, I'm afraid
Do
I
you
have
have
some
a
other
way to
appointments to
remove
keep
memories?
this afternoon. Sorry, Mr. White, what was that?
You mentioned something about removing the memory of this.
Would that I could. I'm afraid that is outside of my
It's just a bit of a strange
abilities.
coincidence seeing what brings us here.
Yes. Alas, I cannot take them from you.
Do you have any advice on how I could possibly get my memories back? Can memories actually be removed or just blocked?
I myself have never experienced having my memory stolen.
I may look into possibly a hypnotist of some
Yes,
sort.
I would try hypnotist if I were you, or betting all else, a good night's sleep. Anyway, as I said, I'm very sorry. I do have some appointments to keep this afternoon.
No
Sorry to
problem.
throw you out into the cold, but
oh,
it's
it's
You're
fine.
only throwing us out a few doors down the road.
yes.
Well, Doctor, if should you come into contact with that book or hear anything about it,
You'll be the first to know.
here's our card.
Thank you.
Just,
Oh, here's ours.
Thank you very much.
And here's mine.
And another of mine.
Just 2 free doors up.
Well,
Practically.
3 doors down. Doctor,
practically neighbours.
you
Almost.
you made an error in your wager, though.
Yes?
You seem to presume that both things could not be true or happen at the same time.
Oh, that
And
is
so
fair.
if
That is fair.
I'm screaming about that and you're begging me to join, I think that would make me captain of the society. That sounds rather nice. Maybe you should have a hat made for me. And I
We
wink,
shall
ever
see.
so charming. I want a
Well,
hat.
Should that
Maybe
day
a
come
medal.
to pass, I will have a hat. Well,
Hmm.
good day, gentlemen.
Good
James,
day.
would you show the gentleman out, please?
This won't be the first time James has kicked us out of here. The theater reference.
This way, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you
Whose
for
coat was
having
this
us.
again?
Yes, thank you for your time.
Sirs?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
great.
thank you.
Yep.
Your coat?
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
This way. Thank you for your visit. The society is very glad to have new friends.
It's nice to meet you again, James. Please.
It is.
Call me Basil. Basil. Just a little joke.
Yes, sir. This way. And he shows you out the door, back into the street. And that is where we will go to break. And we'll be back in 10 minutes' time. So you step out the door of the society, back out into the cold February. Why did I say September? The cold February afternoon. And as you do so, Nigel, would you give me a spot hidden? Just as you step outside. As you step outside, as you go, it's cold weather. You slip your hands into the pocket of your coat, and you find there is a piece of paper in there that was not there earlier.
See. Well, obviously I pull it out and have a look at it.
It says, "The Audley, 10 p.m."
What was the place?
The Audley. 10
Ah,
p.m.
okay. Ah, does that place ring a bell with anyone? Anyone else?
It's a public house. Martin would know it's a public house, just a couple of streets away.
Looks like we got an invite for tonight. This was not in my pocket before. I think.
So, I'm guessing this isn't the sort of place you'd go to normally. It's not as if you've been there and just wrote it as a reminder to go there.
No, it's not even my handwriting.
Actually, unfortunately, none of us are specialists in handwriting, so there's no way we could. I was thinking maybe we could work out the sort of person they are, but no. There's probably a special skill role for that.
It's quite neat handwriting. You can tell it's
Well, I
quite
can tell.
neat, but quite quickly. Like it looks like someone who has otherwise neat handwriting has written this quickly.
Okay. I mean, all I can tell is that it's not mine. But, nonetheless, it looks like we've been invited to the pub.
Oh,
So, what should we do in the intervening time?
Well, we could get into contact with our client and get him squared away, get his
Yes.
life back.
oh,
We know where he lives.
Yes, you two should carry on, get your business sorted out.
There is another thing we could do.
Hmm.
I like Dr. P. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I can throw people quite far.
I wouldn't either. There were some things I noticed about him. His eyes.
He's
in
a
particular.
liar.
And then he's seen some things. I'm sure. So
He's seen some dusty tomes.
No,
and
there's some things. There were some things about his eyes. It looks like I couldn't put my finger on it exactly, but it's. It was unsettling.
What was unsettling is his need to lie about anything and everything, and it is weird that he looked 40 and 70 at the same time. I suppose the weird, strange lighting of libraries might do that to a man. I don't know.
At least the tea was nice.
It was. No one's feeling funny after having had that tea, are they?
You know, I have to say, I want to know more about him. I want to know more about the society. Seems like a place, quite frankly, where a lot of degenerates and ne'er-do-wells would end up.
Well, I guess.
Talented ne'er-do-wells, nonetheless, but...
Well, looks like then that'd be a good home for us.
What are you talking about? I am a respected...
You are not.
I was
You are-
known as the people's... They flocked to me on the streets, Nigel. Just because our superiors rejected us does not mean that we were rejected by the people, Mr. Hargraves, and I will not hear anything of it.
Who are your superiors?
Idiots!
In a word.
Fools!
Most
In a word
superiors
or
are.
two.
I unleash a 30-second string of curse words that would make a sailor blush, and I end it with, that asshole Thorn.
Yeah, he was intractable.
But, so, what? Has everyone got plans?
I don't know what to do. Honestly, Mr. White, I feel I should be completely candid with you. Nigel, I said that back there that I was the brains. That is not true. Nigel is the brains. I am the facilitator.
That's part of our routine. You're the one who speaks while I sit back and watch.
You do like to watch. But the point of it is that I am despite my ghastly visage, as my father would say, I am oftentimes the proverbial face of an operation, and sometimes the muscle. I know I don't look like I cut a great swath at
Oh.
these cults and whatnot, but I assure you, I have a little bit of violence in me. Nigel is the true gentleman. The true gentleman.
I have a proposal. Why don't you two
A modest
gentlemen
one?
sort out the matter with your client, and I shall send word to a friend of mine at Oxford to see whether anyone's inquired about translating a Swedish book recently, and
Okay.
we can meet up again later before we go to the pub.
Right. Have you ever thought about being a detective? That was a very good idea.
Me?
Yes.
No.
Well, we'll make one of you yet.
Nah, I don't know. That's not where my interest lies, but having said that, I'm not sure where my interest lies.
Your interest lies in money and a little bit of adventure, Mr. White.
I feel like I don't know what direction to go, so I'm going every direction at the same time. That's the way I feel.
I respect it.
I dabble in everything, and study everything, and read everything. But
Well, I can tell you my direction is I am going to make it a point to dominate this case. All of us are going to dominate this case. So Dr. P begs us to join his society, and we have the privilege and the honor of declining.
you just want to shake his hand.
No. No, I don't. If I wanted to shake his hand, I would have walked up and introduced myself.
I think you just want to have more interactions with Roland.
He's a good man. But I think you meant James.
Oh yes, you're right. You're right. Sorry.
James
All
is not a
butlers
good
look the
man.
Same to you.
They're all approximately 5'7" and weigh 137 to 145 pounds. No, he thought when he completely peeled his mask back, he thought that he was better than us. At least me. And I didn't like that.
Okay.
Then again, you've got him fooled.
I don't know if I do anymore. I feel I let my emotions get the best of me, although I did like outwitting him at the end. I'm not a smart man, but I have my moments. Martin, do you have a gun?
I have several guns.
Good. Nigel, you have guns. You shouldn't have guns. I've seen you shoot them. So let us go. I just like to lighten the mood. Let us go find our contact or our contract. Let's do something good today. We've done nothing good today.
I think we've made a good start with the doctor at the society.
I mean,
we've had good
healing
food.
people. Well, we've had... You two are not men of the people yet. Become men of the people.
Okay,
All right,
so Hargreaves and Bloomsworth, you have a meeting with Hawksby, your client. Actually, it's probably about half an hour overdue at this point. You did tell him to meet you on Wednesday afternoon. So you have a meeting with Mr. Hawksby. Martin, is there anything you would like to do with the rest of the afternoon and the early evening before meeting up with the detectives again?
I think this might not make sense, but it might. I'll just try and do some sketching. See if I can try and trigger my memories about the gap of memories I've got. I'll just do some doodling, sketching.
Okay. In which case we'll start with the detectives and then we'll go back to Mr. White. So, Basil and Nigel, you hurry back to your offices, where you don't keep any other staff, do you? It's just the two of you.
Just the two of us.
Yeah. In which case you
We've
see Mr. Hawksby waiting outside your office.
Mr.
Blowing on his
Hawksby,
hands in the cold. Yeah.
come hither. We can do this quickly.
Sorry, I must have got the time wrong.
No, it was our problem. But in fairness to us, we've negotiated something quite good for you. This is. I hand him the check.
This. You got my money back.
Yes, we did.
All of it.
Yes, we did. We brokered a deal. So as it turns out, so this is you're just gonna have to trust us on this. Nordstrom is a crook, but he's not a hack. And there is an investor who is willing to take charge of financial matters, including your claim. So if you accept this money, which I'm sure you are, it is understood that you will not seek other recompense or besmirch the names of anyone else involved, including Mr. Nordstrom. That this was just it was just a misunderstanding that was settled by gentlemen.
Yes.
Very good.
I said double your fee, right? If you could get the money back.
Yes. One moment. I'm gonna whisper to Nigel. Should we just? I'm not gonna actually whisper because it's my throat. Should we just let him have it?
I would say yes.
Okay, just normal fee?
Yeah.
We just want the normal fee.
Are you sure? I mean, you have gone far and beyond anything I could expect.
That's true, but part of a way you could repay us is feel free to walk around your areas and extol the virtues of Hargraves and Bloomsworth Detective Agencies.
It'd be quite worth it to us.
Any of my friends that have any difficulty, I will send them your way, of course. Thank you. Let me write you a check in return. Please wait.
We won't cash it we won't cash it until next week.
Yes. Just give the bank time to sort things out.
Yes, just very good.
But I promise I'll be good for it by then.
Oh, we know you'll be good for it because if you're not, there's nothing you could do to stop us from seeking justice.
Oh yeah.
Just a joke.
Thank you. You are both good detectives and good men too. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to kick you out, but I'm tired. I've had a horrible night.
I won't take up any more of your time. In fact, I have to get to the bank before closing, so I will be on my way.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Very good.
And he hurries off.
You know, Basil, you really should think about hiring that secretary to man the office, just in case we're not there and the client shows up.
All of our clients are poor and desperate and dependent upon us. A secretary is for when we are profitable.
Well, I mean, no. But we also need to project the image of being successful.
Look where we have our office, sir. And I just open the door. I reject everything else that he says.
Okay.
The door shakes on its hinges a bit as you open it with a bit too much vigor. It looks.
God, 90-degree angle to the 45 to the 4.
You do make a point. Yes. I stand corrected.
When we told Martin White where our office was, he was very polite, but the look on his face said, "I won't go there. I'll die." Which, to be fair, a man such as himself would be robbed and picked over and almost certainly murdered. But he does have guns on him, so maybe not. Regardless, I need to sit down.
Well, perhaps we should consider getting new offices at some point.
We just had one client.
That's more than we had before. Anyway,
it's been a bit of a drought. We started off strong and then we frazzled. I can't even rhyme. Oh, my head is splitting.
Okay.
Here. Basil, here's the note that I had in my pocket. What do you make of it? Now that we're alone.
I'm gonna do it.
Is your head hurting too much?
I can do it. Spot hidden keeper.
Yeah, take a good look at it. See if there's anything you can glean from this.
Okay.
No, it's neat handwriting, but written in a hurry. Other than that, you're not really.
Ooh.
It's not your handwriting, and it's not Nigel's handwriting.
No. Could I? And this might be a stretch. Could I make a library use check on it to see if it's from like any type of special stationery or paper? I don't know if it'd be library worse or a library roll.
Yes, but this would count as a push roll because You've already made
Understood.
one check for this, and if you essentially you're like, I think you're holding it close to the oil lamp to get a good look through the paper thing, and yeah, you're gonna lose
Library
it if you
use?
fail.
Okay. Well, I only have a 20, so Nigel. Oh, fuck, that'd be metagaming. I'm gonna apologize preemptively. Huzzah! Oh!
Yeah, you hold it up to the light, you peer at this paper, and you can see that this appears to, it's like the very corner of a larger page. Like, whoever wrote this note, it's not written on like fine stationery or like proper note paper. It's almost like someone hurriedly tore the corner from the corner of a book. And it's not bad quality paper, but you know, reasonably cheap paper. What you can make out is the trace of the writing just in the top corner that looks like the page it was torn from. And it appears to be some form of ledger, sort of a book used for accounting, for essentially like stock take. And you can just make out the bottom of edge of what possibly looks to be an order for like potatoes. Like, it looks like this was torn from the edge of like a stock keeping, records keeping book, the kind that a housekeeper or similar might have.
Okay. Nigel,
Yes.
I almost set this thing on fire. But interesting. This is not on stationery or proper note paper. It's from the corner of a book, but not just any book. A ledger. Something that a housekeeper might have.
Oh,
A scent of, somehow I just know, potatoes.
No, it says potato. It doesn't smell of potato.
No, keeper, you took something precious from me. You
I'm
took
sorry.
it from me.
Have it
You
back.
took it from me.
Have the scented potatoes back.
No, you ruined the moment. It says potatoes. I'm sorry. It's the melodrama in me, Nigel. When I get tired, I get creative. Housekeeper. It's probably it's James. James invited us to the bar. He's the only one that works there because it's a rundown society on its last vestiges of greatness.
It did seem a bit less than it used to be.
It is diminished. Honestly, I hate to say this, but it's kind of mediocre. Almost boring. But yeah, it's going to be James. We're going to go to the pub, and it's going to be James. And if he stonewalls me again, I don't think my heart can take it. I think I'll just have a heart attack and die. The man, I mean, there's just, he once said to me, "Unfortunately, Mr. Bloomsworth, I cannot acquiesce to the words that you have rephrased, so I shall rephrase my words." And it's like he wrote a novel to politely told me to get the fuck out of his face. I was stupefied. He did it in 13 seconds. I want to take a nap now.
All right. When would you like to be awoken?
Two things. Either when it's time for us to go,
Okay.
or a client shows up.
Which one?
Or
we just sent away our biggest client.
A hypothetical client. All of our clients are hypothetical now. A hypothetical client shows up, or something is on fire, or a beautiful woman is looking for me. Those are the criteria to wake me up.
Okay, so basically I'll wake you up when it's time to go.
You are a bastard and my best friend, which actually tracks, yes. And I just go to like a table, not even the good one, the one that like we have to put the book under, and I just kind of lie on it like at an angle that I have perfected, and I just start sleeping.
And I take the note, and I just say, potatoes. Should I boil them or mash them or put them in the stew?
Always the stew.
Okay, as you're waiting for the time to come to head to go meet up with Martin again, I would like you, between the two of you, to give me a look roll, please.
Okay, mine's at 40.
47.
Okay, 40, please give me a look roll. I mean, Nigel, not 40, that's not your name. Okay,
Yes.
That is good to know. We'll get back to the pair of you in just a minute.
Is it good or
Can't
bad?
spend luck on luck.
Again, you didn't catch it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll get back to you two in just a moment. But first of all, Martin, you said you were trying to do some sketching, trying to resummon your memories.
Just seeing if I can set something off memory-wise.
Okay. Would you give me a power roll, please? So you have to do with willpower and your mind. You try and plumb the depths of your mind.
That's his strength.
You're like sort of sketching, trying to bring back memories of office, a meeting. No, you're getting things muddled up. You just sketched Dr. Pendergast again. That's not helpful. Okay, new page. You start sketching again, and this time, a memory stirs, and when you look down at the page when you finished, you see face of a young woman, probably in her 20s. Rather pretty, very well dressed. You've got a sort of rough outline of her coiffed hair, a sort of very nice wintry dress she's wearing, and a rather lovely necklace around her neck. You remember the necklace now. You remember a young woman with a blue topaz necklace. It was an unusual style.
But not a woman I'd recognise.
Not a woman you've met before, but a young woman with a blue topaz necklace. She was there. And
At least that's a memory.
you remember, you were talking. There was someone else there as well, but there was someone else there in the room. It was a young woman and someone else. They were talking, and you showed them the book. And you don't remember why you showed them the book. You felt that you had to.
I hadn't planned to show anyone the book, so...
No.
But
You remember your hands moving, like, almost against your own control. You remember doing things you didn't intend to do. You showed them the book. They took the book. You remember seeing the man that was with her. He took the book away in his coat. And then the woman said something to you. And that's the last sort of thing you can remember, even stirring the memories. It's unclear, it's hazy. She did something.
So she was the hypnotist somehow. Perhaps the necklace was used in the hypnotism. That's why it sticks in my mind.
Yeah, her voice, you remember it was relaxing. You can't remember what she said.
But at least I've got a picture and I have an idea. So I'm guessing just what sort of time would you say? Mid-afternoon?
It's
Late
mid-afternoon, it's about somewhere between 5 and 6 o'clock now. Is there anything else you would like to do before the detectives return?
I think probably all I'd do is consider my options regards Nordstrom, make any notes that I needed to make arrangements for with him and such. Just nothing major as such, just planning really. Plotting.
Okay.
I have something in mind, but we can sort that out another time. It's just ideas at this point until our pub meeting.
Yeah, you do note that you did invite Avery to your meeting this afternoon, but he did not arrive.
That's a very
Avery did not come to your meeting.
Yes. No, that is actually quite concerning. I'm assuming he lived at where we had just been, the former chemical works. I'm assuming he was stopping there.
You're not sure. You don't know.
That's what I mean. I don't know. I've made that assumption, but could be wrong. I may have to employ some detectives to locate him.
If only you knew some detectives.
If only. But I'll mention that when I meet them later.
Okay. Well, time passes by, and it's almost time to head out again, Nigel, when you
Mhm.
get a knock at the door.
Who that could be? And knowing the neighborhood, I'm like, hello? Who's there? Before opening the door.
Good evening. Is this Hargreaves and Bloomsworth?
It is.
A woman's
And
voice says.
what kind of voice is it? Is it a high class, nice voice or a
Make me a listen check, actually.
okay?
It's a woman's voice.
Still,
At first, it sounds like very plummy, sort of upper class tones.
mhm.
But too plummy, really. Too upper class. Like someone putting a voice on. You just hear a little undercurrent of Cockney accent that I cannot do
Okay.
underneath this voice that she's putting on.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I'll before I open the door, I'll make sure my handgun is at the ready. This is a bad neighborhood, and then I will open the door.
And you see a rather smartly dressed woman standing on the step. She's got a hat, her gloves, a dark green dress. Not expensive, but respectable. And she smiles at you, and I'd like you to make me a spot hidden as she does.
Okay.
So she says, "May I come in? I have a matter to discuss with you."
Yes. Please come in.
And as she says that, you catch a glimpse out in the street behind her of two gentlemen across the road from your front door.
Okay.
Two rather large, like definitely sort of well-muscled heavies, I think is the correct word to call them.
Okay. So as I close the door and lock it, I will also pull my pistol.
You will do what with your pistol?
I'll pull it out so that it's in hand.
There's no need for that, sir.
Your acquaintances across the street make me think otherwise.
They're with me, sir.
Yes. Which makes me think perhaps I might need it.
I'm not going to rob you.
So what is the nature of your business?
Insurance.
This is a detective agency,
Yes,
not an insurance.
Yes, I am here about a matter of insurance for your business.
Ah, I see. So please explain to me the
This
terms.
could be a very dangerous neighborhood.
So
All sorts of
I'd
accidents can occur.
be a shame if something were to happen to the place, wouldn't it?
It would, an awful shame. However, for a small monthly fee, we can ensure that nothing befalls your very fine detective agency, please. Here.
And what manner of payment would you be considering?
Just a modest sum. She passes you a piece of paper with a sum that is modest, but still not ignorable, given your lack of clients.
If we'd had more clientele, this would be an easy thing for us to manage, because your compatriots seem to be the sort that could easily handle this kind of insurance.
Oh yes, we
But
will ensure nothing befalls your business.
We are a bit skint at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I don't usually do credit. It is a terrible habit to get into. But how about we make a little arrangement, Mr.
Hargreaves?
Hargreaves? And the sleeping fellow in the corner must be Mr. Bloomsworth.
Yes, that is Mr. Bloomsworth. Hopefully that wakes him up.
You hear your name,
geez.
Basil.
Oh, good lord. Oh, what time is it? Oh, hello. How are you?
Hello.
Our insurance agent seems to have come by to say hello to us.
Good to meet you.
Oh, hold on. One
You may
moment.
call me Miss Green.
Mrs. Keeper, I think we would know who
You've
that
heard
is.
that name, yes.
The Miss Green? Maybe the adopted son of Augustus Green. So saith the legend, so saith the tale.
Ah, yes. Anyway, I'm here about your insurance. As I said, I don't usually deal in credit, but you are an interesting agency. Detectives.
I hate to interrupt you. Yes, so I'm guessing that you did not come here by yourself foolishly. Is that
No.
correct?
No.
No, my
She
friends are
came
waiting
accompanied.
outside.
Yes.
I do have a question for you, a follow-up question then. Do you like them?
My friends?
Yeah, do you like your friends, whoever they are?
Yes.
And you wouldn't want anything bad to happen to your friends. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So I have a business proposition for you, and I think you'll like it. I think you will like it.
Proposition away.
Yes. I think that you, being a smart, affluent, cordial young lady, might seek business ventures elsewhere. And in return for that, we never investigate anything that would have to do with you, or upon finding out that it would, that we drop that case. That is my business proposition for you.
Okay, make me, depending on which angle you're taking here, either a persuasion or an intimidation roll.
I'm going to go with persuade.
Okay,
I'm going to go with persuade.
You kept it pretty. She smiles at you, and gives a little nod. I see. I see. Well, you do make a very fair proposition, Mr. Bloomsworth. She offers out her hand to you.
Thank you.
So we
Sometimes
make
money.
a deal.
I love deals.
You don't send the Peeleys anywhere near my crew. And in return, nothing unfortunate befalls your establishment here.
Very good. I like peace. However, do I have permission to speak freely? Just in general.
This is your
Well, yes,
business?
but you are our guest. I am a man of peace and understanding. I am also very easily startled. And sometimes when I get startled, I hate to admit this, but I get scared. And I'm not very fast, and flight or fight kicks in. Just a well-known fact for us ex-police officers. A lot of us are wired that way. I'm just
Please get to
saying.
the point, Mr. Bloomsworth.
My point is, if you think we run afoul of the agreement, you might want to knock on the door. Because if you kick down that door, I'll be okay.
Oh, don't worry. Should you run afoul of the agreement, there won't be a door there to be kicked down.
Oh. I like the way you said that because you believe it. I'm
Good day,
glad
gentlemen.
that this won't come up.
If all things being well, we should not have to meet again.
I find that sad in a bit of a way.
I'd best be on my way. She
Yes, you
turns the
best.
head.
And I'll
Will you
open the
unlock the
door
door,
for
please,
her.
Mr. Hargreaves?
Yes, gladly.
Careful for the last stair down there. It's a little uneven.
Yes, I know a good contractor I can send your way if you need it.
Oh, we wouldn't
reasonable
want to lose
rates?
the charm.
Very reasonable rates.
Hmm.
Good day.
Good day.
And she heads off into the night.
When I think she's gone, I'm going to look at Nigel and say, she really almost got those boys shot.
Mm-hmm. She almost got herself shot.
Oh, I'd never shoot a lady.
That was no lady.
That was a lady.
Hmm.
That was a lady. They're all like that. That lady just had the decency to admit who and what she is. There's no facade, no masquerade.
Well, you know, she did try to come in under pretense, but her
Yeah, she
voice
just
gave
wanted
it
to
away.
She wanted to see if we were on our shit. That's okay. I mean, if we were dumb enough to get fooled by that, then we deserve to get built.
Hmm.
Oh, god damn it.
Well, you're up now.
Yeah, and it's probably time to be heading out if you're to meet Martin in time.
How you doing? You feeling any better at all? You still tired?
I felt good enough to not go out there and kill those two guys. So,
Oh, so
I
you're feeling
rested
pretty
that.
good then.
Yeah.
All
3 hours ago, I would have been saying, no, officer, I swear to you, I didn't shoot them without just cause or whatever. I don't fucking know. Honestly, you just take enough coins and you throw them at police officers this day and they let you get away with anything. It's one of the other reasons we left the fucking force.
Yeah.
God, I hope Martin has scones. And we're on our way, Keeper.
So you head over to meet with Martin before heading over to the orderly. You arrive back at Martin's house. His butler, Roland, shows you inside to where Mr. White is waiting.
There will be scones. So, how are you two gentlemen?
Well, aside from miners' attempt at strong arming us into getting some protection, we're doing well.
Protection?
We made a deal with a crime lord, a very horrifying crime lord, to leave us the fuck alone. I promised to not kill all of her men. She promised not to show up at my doorstep and be a pain in my fucking ass and or kill me. A tale as old as time.
Seems a good agreement all around.
They couldn't do a damn thing to me. Anyway, look, I'm in a bad mood. I'm just going to eat a bunch of these scones and listen to you talk. Please don't feel disrespected.
Just eat up, don't worry. These were made especially for the pair of you, just in case you had...
Will there be any left that I could have one, Basil?
It's probably just a tray of them, to be fair.
Take have 3.
More an afternoon tea sort of thing, but they'll be there. I have some good news, though.
Oh?
I was trying to pick up my memories to see if I could remember anything from what happened. I was just trying to sketch, and I came up with a drawing of a young lady who I believe might be the young lady who somehow was involved with my memories, or at least the absence of them. Something about her having a blue topaz unusual necklace sticks in my mind. But at least I've got an idea now.
Any idea how to get in touch with them?
I don't even
find
know
them.
who it is.
Oh.
But I have an idea. I'd recognise them if I see them again. At least I suspect so. But working on my memories.
Oh, that triggered something in my memory. When we were working at the theater case, we got some wind of, what's that word? Like artifacts or relics. Maybe the fancy folk speak like that. Maybe this topical. You called it like the necklace.
Oh, blue topaz. It's just a blue gem.
Topaz. Oh, sure. That sounds like a whiskey. Maybe that's one of those relics or artifacts.
Oh, I'm sure it wouldn't be, because topaz is, I'd like to say fairly common, but it isn't. It's a valuable gemstone, much like rubies, emeralds, diamonds, that sort of thing for jewelry. It's not something a lot of people tend to wear.
So that wouldn't make it a relic? Wouldn't that make it more likely to be a relic, like ancient or powerful? I don't understand these things.
Could be just a family heirloom. I wouldn't worry about it. But we should set off to the pub soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. White, if anyone ever comes to your place and they try to give you a protection racket, please let us know.
I could do. I don't think I tend to have that sort of problem around this part of the city.
This is a rather genteel part of the city, so
I mean,
I'm not speaking properly. I'm sorry. How do I say this?
oh, it's okay.
Mr. White, the business proposition that we had was pretty crass, but that type of thing exists all over the world.
Oh,
So if there is a more proper proposition of that, let us know. Does that make sense? I will slap the shit out of somebody. It's been a while. It's been 3 years. Sometimes I look at my hand and I say I'm sorry.
I'm sure you'll get a chance to make use of those hands sometime soon.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I took an. I'm going back to the scones.
Okay, well, if you're going to make your appointment at the Audley, you'd best be heading out. Assuming all three of you wish to go.
yes,
Yeah.
I think we should make our way there.
Okay, so you head out down a few streets to this rather nice public house. It's got a dark wood bar, like comfortable seating. You don't know who it. Well, you don't know for certain. Some of you may have your suspicions who it is you're here to meet.
When we look around, do we see James?
You don't see anyone you recognize when you look around. But then, well, do you take a seat or are you lingering at the bar? What are you doing? What should you wait?
I think we should find a table.
Yeah, somewhere semi-private that someone could join us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you take a seat at a table, semi-private, and you don't have to wait long before the door opens again and James, the butler from the London Esoteric Society, steps in. He's wearing much less butlery attire. Like, he's no longer in his very smart black and white. He's sort of
What
dressed
is
down.
Is this street clothes James?
Yes.
This has been the rumor that it existed. I didn't believe it. I thought it would only be pulled from the myth. Keeper, I need at least 75 adjectives. Go!
Like, he's wearing a coat that is, like, slightly too large. It's clearly not his coat. And sort of shabby shirt. He's looking around sort of sheepishly, like, he, like, definitely looks like he's up to something. As he sort of looks around the place, then hurries over to your table.
Nice disguise.
Thank you. I sent you the note.
Yes, we got it.
Oh.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yes, quite obviously, because you're here. Yes. He ducks into a seat, sort of looking around to make sure he's not in view of the front door. You can tell that he doesn't do this sort of thing very often.
Yeah.
So James, why'd you call us here? I mean, good to see you. But what's
Yes, well, you're detectives.
Indeed, yes.
Yes. Well, at least some of you are.
Well, two of us are.
I overheard some of your conversation with Pendergast earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
I have a slight bad habit of eavesdropping.
It's unavoidable.
Unavoidable in my profession.
Yes.
Where to begin?
Begin at the beginning.
Oh no, the beginning is a very long time ago.
Would you like a drink? Can we order something for you?
Oh yeah, yes, please. Anything? Beer?
Beer? No spirits?
No.
I mean, we can help. Okay.
I don't really
All right,
go for
then.
spirits.
Okay. All right then. Whatever it is your preference.
Sorry, I don't get out that much. Work keeps me very busy. Yes, yeah. The beginning was a long time ago. I'm not going back that far. You were asking about a book, yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Pendergast took your book.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you
that
know what his,
explains something else.
do you know what his interest was?
Would you laugh at me if I said magic?
No, we've seen enough. We don't know a lot about it, but we've seen enough to know that it exists.
Well, magic,
Magic is real. Magic is
sorcery,
very real.
whatever you call it.
Do,
Madness.
do we need to kill Pendergast?
Oh, why is it that that's always people's first assumption when there's a problem?
Well, let us say that is not our first option.
I have a question for you, James.
Yes.
I was trying to work out what happened to my memories, and the first picture I drew was actually of that doctor, which didn't make sense. But there was another picture I drew, and I'll just show him both sketches of the doctor. And
Well,
you
that's
recognise?
Pendergast,
Well,
who you've met, and that's
yes.
Miss Ward.
So that would be the young lady involved.
Yes, they went out earlier, well, this morning, and when they came back, Pendergast had a book with him. He must have locked it away in the safe. I don't have the key anymore.
Yes, so it looks like we know exactly who was responsible now.
Yes, look.
Okay.
There's a little more to it. And yes, you go ahead.
Sorry,
Sorry, sir.
Just
No, this just popped into my head. I'm sorry. I'm not my normal polite self. I'm cantankerous and cranky. Do you think he did this out of good intentions? That he was scared that this book might exist and that society maybe tries to protect? He kept saying, "He'll protect. I will protect." I can't do his voice. It was annoying. But that he was going to protect us, and we haven't seen enough, and that type of thing. Or did he do it because he's an evil madman?
If I thought he was trying to protect you, I wouldn't be here.
Okay. So I'm going to slap the... We have found who I'm going to slap the shit out of. It's not you, James.
No. Sorry, I'm getting this out of order. Don't go walking in there. Like, I don't know. Look, you're the first people that have come to the society in the last few years that have left in a state where I feel I could ask you to help with this. Something has gone very wrong with the society. This is not always what it was.
No,
I remember.
remember.
It's been a lot of things over the years, but this is not what it was.
I do
So it's
remember it
evil
being
now.
different. It was some time different the last time we were here. Who is this
but
Pendergast?
you're after our help.
Yes, you're the only people I can think of to ask, because you're the only people I know who know anything about this who aren't somehow involved. Or worse than the society. There are far worse things out there. Let's another day. Yes, the society.
Just take your time and slow down. It's okay. We're not in a rush.
It all started going wrong about. Well, it was 5 years ago when Pendergast arrived. It was a bit of a lull time. The doctor had moved on. I think Reeves had stopped coming by as often, and everyone else was pretty much dead or mad. It tends to happen to them, unfortunately. But Pendergast showed up almost out the blue, and Mr. Abernathy, he's the lawyer, he handles the books, he handles the ongoing running. The actual society members have a tendency to disappear for years at a time, or
You didn't have a proper
turn into
accountant?
fish monsters.
Why didn't you have an accountant?
Our accountant
Fish
left. We had an
Oh.
accountant. He almost died. He left.
Smart man.
Mm.
Probably handsome.
Anyway, Abernathy said that Pendergast was a new member. He was moving in. The way the society works, I don't pretend to understand the legal side of things. I just work there, okay?
Now, are you Pendergast's personal butler, or are you the society's?
I'm the society's butler, I think.
Okay.
As I said, the legal situation is arcane, eldritch.
You
I
are
don't know.
You are a society man because the way you stonewalled me all those years ago, over and over and over and over again. You truly love that place. You couldn't see yourself working anywhere else. I didn't take it personally.
You were asking questions about things that they did not want to answer. I turned you away. That was my job.
I didn't take it personally. Although
Good.
when you get mad, you get this little twitch here.
Look.
Bad gambler. All I'm saying.
Look, as I said, after Pendergast turned up, and then Miss Ward joined the society not long after, and even from the start, like, she trusts Pendergast. She practically worships the guy, it seems.
Him? He can't even shave.
Yeah, he had blood on his cuff. We noticed. That's why I asked if you were his personal butler. You'd know his grooming routine.
I suspect it wasn't from shaving.
I know. Well, look.
I suspect blood magic. I know. Again, it sounds insane.
No, it sounds completely. I watched an eldritch, cosmic god thing jump through a math portal. So, yeah, magic. I believe it.
Yeah.
So how do you believe we could help you?
I don't know. I don't know if you can help. Maybe I just need to tell someone about this. Because, look, Pendergast, whoever or whatever he is dangerous. He is collecting books and artifacts and items. He is gathering knowledge of every other petty cult, of every other little group there is in London, and believe me, there are plenty out there. And
that's horrifying.
Do you believe he joined the society to do so?
Very much so.
Yeah. Are there any times you've caught him sort of off guard that makes you think he's not, say, entirely human?
I know that he is a stronger sorcerer. This sounds made up word. Look, he is a more dangerous and powerful sorcerer than any of the others I've met before, and you have to trust me when I say that I have met multiple sorcerers over my years in working for the society.
I believe you.
I believe you.
And he is
weak. He has a weakness, James.
He does?
He does. He does have a weakness. It's his arrogance. He and I were verbally jousting. He's very powerful and very smart and very capable. But what's bad for him is that he knows that. So, no matter how powerful a human being is, especially a powerful man, we sometimes almost worship our own hubris. That is a way to attack somebody through their emotions, through their humanity, so to speak.
Well, if he has any of that left, yes.
Well, I mean, he has the shitty emotions and the like. I'm not as articulate as I normally would be. I'm having a bad day. I so desperately wanted to shoot somebody and I didn't get to shoot them.
Well,
so tough.
Look, I'm not asking you to break down the front door and shoot him. I don't think.
No, that'd be a terrible idea. We would die instantly.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
So, James, whatever it is you're asking us to do, as the society's butler, are you asking us to be employed by the society to investigate whatever it is you're trying to find out?
Maybe.
Retainer, which we can negotiate after. We can do the rare after the work has been completed retainer. It's very highly technical.
Yes, I mean, you're detectives.
Mostly because I made it up. But yes, we can absolutely make this work.
Yes, can I hire you to investigate the society and...
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Find out who or what he is and somehow stop what it is he's... I don't know exactly what it is he's trying to do. I've been trying to listen in and pick up bits as I go, but
What about Mrs. Ward? Is she evil?
I mean, evil is a very hard term to define. She's...
Misguided, maybe?
I don't know.
Do you
Is she an idiot?
I'm just curious whether you believe anyone else has the same view of this doctor.
Look, Cecil hasn't got a sorcerer's bone in his body. I suspect he's their dupe. Mr. Collinswood, I'm not sure. He's honestly half insane. If not all insane. And I don't know what he knows or what he thinks he knows. Agnes... Oh, I've not explained Agnes to you. She's the housekeeper. She's...
Well, we knew there'd be other staff. But...
Yeah, well, the other staff, most of the servants don't know too much about what's going on. I've been trying to keep them in the dark as much as I can. I don't want... I've seen bad things happen to the members of the staff that have got too close to the society's actual dealings, and I don't want a repeat of that. But so mostly, if it touches too close to the actual work of the society, Agnes and I handle it. But Agnes has her own way of doing things, and honestly, I don't know whether I can trust her on this or not.
Well, James, there's good news. Because we rocked up there today, we can play dumb and try to talk to the doctor. And I'm sure he would be happy to steer us in the wrong direction. He'd probably try to sick us on maybe some of his enemies or something of the sort. So I don't think he was enjoying this. I could tell he was enjoying the conversation. He felt like he was playing a game. So now I don't know if my bet technically works. It's neither here nor there. But we have a real reason to come knocking on your door in the future.
Yes.
So, this is what I propose. When our conversation ends, you should stay here another hour or two.
I can't go too long. Someone will notice I'm gone.
Well, just go show back up drunk. Just say you need some James time.
That's terrible advice,
I'm
Basil.
not
That's
really much of a
amazing.
drinker.
Well, exactly. Then it won't be hard for you to get drunk.
Someone will think I'm up to something. I mean, I am up to something.
You're right. But how dumb would you be to I mean, like showing up back drunk, they wouldn't think you're up to something. They'd think that you're just a man. You are just a man. You know what I mean. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking. Ignore everything I just said.
How long has Pendergrast known you as an employee? Would he know you long? Has he known you long enough to know all your, the things that you would normally do or not?
He's been at the society 5 years, so he's known me that long. I've been, I've been with the society quite a long time. 25 years, I think, at this point.
But I was more concerned about whether Pendergrast knew much about you.
I don't. I assume he knows a lot about me. He has a way of reading people. Honestly, I don't know if that's sorcery or if he's just good at reading people. Yeah.
Well, we will make sure we will make absolutely sure that your name never comes up in any conversations.
Yes, we shouldn't really meet again. And look, if you don't want to get involved with this, I completely understand. I'm asking.
Oh, we're involved. We're involved.
We are already involved in this.
We don't. Once we get a case, once we know that what we're doing is right, we don't really back down.
Yeah. Well, Pendergast, he had an interest in that mechanic, that inventor.
Nordstrom.
The pair of them, or just the inventor?
Both of them.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Now that's concerning because the device that Nordstrom had made, it's best that nothing like that is ever made, is the best way to put it. I think that's our general consensus, was to ensure that nothing like that happened again. It was too dangerous. Something like that in the city could have, I don't even want to know what damage it could have done to the city and anyone nearby. We were close and we only saw a glimpse of what could have happened. But I'm just wondering if he would have an interest in Nordstrom and if he'll try to...
Most definitely. Whatever Nordstrom was up to, it was dangerous and powerful, and that's...
Do you know if
what
Nordstrom...
Pendergast likes.
Do you know if Nordstrom ever had any extended conversations with the two of them had time to talk?
They've met.
Oh, okay. Because I just the thought, wondering if maybe
He
Pendergast...
heard about him. He had Cecil asking some questions, and then I think he was playing catch up, trying to get the book off you, and getting the book off you and talking to you.
Okay, I was just wondering if maybe, Pendergast had been giving him ideas on...
No, not that I know of.
I think we need to track down Nordstrom's apprentice as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned why he
he's a
didn't
good
turn
boy.
up.
He's a good boy. He's just cleaning walls.
He is, but I can't see him not turn up. I think this is, I suppose, vexing. It's annoying me. And to think this came from just a book. I mean,
sorry. There is no such thing as just a book.
It's just a book in Swedish.
James leans over the table towards Martin, reaches out his hands to him and goes, Mr. White, there's one thing I've learned in my 25 years working for the society, is there is nothing more terrifying and more deadly in this world than a book.
What about a librarian with many books?
No, it's the books. It's the books you have to watch out for. The librarians are merely, minders, because... Sorry.
It's okay, I understand. Books are a source of knowledge. You can choose to use that knowledge for good or evil or whatever you choose. Much the same as a gun. A gun's not terrifying as such, but it could be, because it could be pointed at you or somewhere else.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that you gentlemen want to ask me? I said I really need to be getting back before...
Yeah, I do have one question.
Yes?
Does Abernathy, you see him eat and drink, yes?
Yes? Abernathy, yes?
Or not Abernathy, I'm sorry, the doctor.
Pendergast, yes? Oh no, he eats and drinks, yes.
I don't care about the Abernathy. Lawyers aren't real people. There's a... Sorry, the truth just came out. Yes. Shit. I was like, oh yeah. Do you know? This is a crude question. Do you know if he uses the bathroom?
Yes. No. Definitely.
Then we can catch him with his pants down. It's also known as the Hargreaves Special. We've arrested many men with their pants down over the years. It's a vulnerable state.
Whatever you two do in your own time is up to you.
Now, Keeper, I try, when I do that, I want to make a charm roll. I'm trying to make James feel better with humor.
Okay, give me a charm roll, trying to, sort of...
He is terrified of you.
I would like to push the roll. During that awkward moment where I think that my joke might have bombed, that tiny thing before it gets to react, I'll say, many men. And I would imagine that if I fail the push roll, James would probably hate me for quite some time. Or think I'm a dumbass and not taking it seriously enough.
Probably. He's going to get entirely the wrong impression, and you're going to leave a very bad impression with it. For a moment, it doesn't land, and then you hear... He gives you a slight chuckle.
I sell it with it when I lean in. Many men.
Right. Wouldn't be what I would go for, but look, I'm just the butler.
No. You are quite a loyal and capable man, but you must never lose hope. my friend. You must never lose hope. It was an act of bravery just seeking us out. However, the piece of paper, it said potato. We figured it out in like 2 minutes. We left the note.
It was the first bit of paper to hand. It was the edge of the stock book.
I know it was at the edge of the stockbook. I literally
you're the
figured that out.
detective, of course you. Look, I'm not a detective.
You're a butler.
Just a butler.
You detect the policies and the politics of your own institution. You're a detective in your own right.
No, I organize cleaning. That's my job.
James, that's not your job at the society, and you know it. That's not your real job at the society. So go on back, and on your way, think of a reason why you might have had to step out in your street clothes, which don't. Look, I feel as if
They're
no one
not
has
my
ever
clothes. I
seen.
don't have any other clothes.
I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Go give that man his clothes back. Be gone, James. Be gone.
And James hurries away.
Well,
See that, Nigel? All you have to do is just make people laugh a little bit, and you make them feel better. You got to find ways to relate with people.
well, you're the people person.
You're charming too.
Not to the
Could
degree
be.
you are. I cannot.
It's. I put the work in, and I mean it. That's what's the matter. I actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. All these years, I kind of disliked James, and now I really respect him.
He was doing his job.
He was doing
No.
his job. He was doing his job better than I was doing my job, and I think I unfairly resented him for that.
And he's given us a job.
Yes. Oh, yes. We have to fairly charge them. Fairly. Wait a minute. Hold on. What if we solve this and then we join the society? Are we charging ourselves? We have to get the money before we officially join. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Someone is eventually gonna break their damn neck on that stair. That last stair is tricky. It's convenient going up, it's dangerous going down. I don't wanna have an office in Whitechapel anymore, Nigel. We almost get robbed and we have guns.
Yeah.
They know we have guns.
And they didn't care.
They do not give a fuck in Whitechapel. I don't blame them.
These are much nicer.
I don't blame them. We have to. If we become rich and famous, we have to give back to Whitechapel.
But you've got insurance now.
Yeah.
No, we avoided insurance. We have a proposition. That woman was terrifying too. I don't know what to do. What do we do? I want to stay and drink. Can we stay and drink?
I have no other obligations tonight, Mr. White.
It's not that far to mine from here. I'm just trying to decide what we need to do. I'm somewhat annoyed with that doctor.
Mm-hmm. Now that makes 3 of us.
He played with your head.
He tried to.
Oh, you did get your memories back. Oh, wait a minute. Are you a sorcerer?
No,
Well, then how'd you get your memories back?
I haven't.
You got some of them back.
I just tried drawing, sketching. I do sketches sometimes. I've tried painting.
Pulling your
Sketching to see if I can
memories
bring
out.
back memory.
Pulling your memories out through alternate channels.
Exactly.
Like a sorcerer. I usually just go to the pond and I just stare at the water and I think about all the horrible things and the good things that have happened, and I try to find a lesson from them.
So
Yes.
I'm particularly concerned about Nordstrom and his apprentice.
I'm worried about the apprentice. I'm scared that he's in danger.
Exactly. So
Has anyone heard from him since the other night?
I haven't. He didn't turn up. Had been invited to lunch.
Well, I think the matter of looking for Nordstrom's missing apprentice and what to do with Nordstrom himself and the London Esoteric Society will in fact be a question for next week.